Yesterday, we focused on Michigan. Today, we're continuing our series, Battleground 2020, and we're focusing on Pennsylvania. The Trump campaign yesterday sued state and county elections officials, saying that mail-in ballot drop boxes, like the ones used in the primary there earlier this month, are unconstitutional, and they are asking a federal court to ban them in November's election. Joining us now is the chairman of the Pennsylvania Republican Party, Lawrence Tabus. Chairman, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I'm on vacation for a day, so that's why no suit and tie.
Hey, I'm all for it. I would take it off if I could. Let me ask you a question. Before I get to the state of play in Pennsylvania, tell me a little bit about this case and why there's an objection to these ballot boxes that have been set up.
These ballot boxes are not County Board of Elections official sites. They are subject to a lot of mischief and political games playing. County boards can place these boxes in areas where they know there are more Democratic voters than Republicans.
Chairman, is this like a mailbox? I'm having trouble visualizing it. Is it like literally like a mailbox that people can go by and throw their ballot in?
Very similar to a mailbox in design, painted differently. The one I went to in Philadelphia to vote at, to test it, red, white, and blue, looks a little bit like a mailbox. But that's what it is.
But it's not staffed. Yes. There's no staff.
It is not staffed, and many of the no cameras.
Okay, this is a no-brainer. I don't even know why you haven't. I mean, sorry, but I don't know why we even have to go to court. I mean, this is insane. The idea that you're allowing ballots just to be dropped in a box that's unattended, it's crazy. So I hope you win that. Well, let me move on to the race real quick. The president, as we know, got a good victory there in all the 20 electoral votes. Right now, if you look at the average of all the polls, Trump is down a little to Biden. What does he need to do, and where do you see the race right now in terms of Pennsylvania?
Well, first of all, he's in a very good position now compared to 2016. He was down at that point as well in that election. What he needs to do now is what he is doing. He is now starting to get back out on the trail. The president is our secret weapon. When he goes out there with his enthusiasm and energy, it lights up our base like nothing I've ever seen before. We are also going to take this race to our existing governor, who has been just absolutely unacceptable in shutting our state down and putting restrictions on the voting process simply to advance the goals of the Democratic Party. The economy will be the issue.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when you walk into that polling place and you want that economy to be revived, do you want President Trump or Joe Biden? I think that's a no-brainer, Sean.
We only have 1 minute left, real quick, but talking of the House races there, you have 4 competitive. Which one concerns you the most?
Well, on the ones that were on offense, I feel very good about all of them. On the defense with Scott Perry, I believe we're absolutely going to win it. We're showing some positive movement in that one. Sean Parnell on the offense is very exciting. I'm predicting we will win that. Lisa Schella, Jim Bognett, very good chances of winning with them as well. So we could pick up as many as maybe 3 seats.
Wow. Amazing. All right, Chairman, I look forward to checking in with you later in the cycle when you're back at work, but enjoy your 24 hours of relaxation. Take care.
Well, thank you very much. Great on your show. Thank you.
All right. Well, joining us now to further break down the races in Pennsylvania, Ryan Matsumoto. He's the contributing analyst at Inside Elections. Ryan, welcome.
Great. Thanks for having me so much, Sean and Lindsay. Good to be here.
So you just heard the chairman. He says Trump's going to win the state, and then there's 4 real competitive races, 2 the Republican incumbents that they're defending, and 2 Democratic incumbents that they're trying to win. Where do you see the race in both of those categories?
Right. So at the presidential level, I definitely think that Trump is behind right now in Pennsylvania. According to the polling average, Trump is trailing Biden by about 6 to 8 points. But the important thing to remember is that the election is not today. The election is in 4 months. So there's definitely some time for Trump to make up ground in Pennsylvania. In terms of the House races, I think that we really see 4 races that are going to be very competitive in 2020. So Democrats are targeting the 8th and the 17th districts, and Republicans are targeting the 1st and the 9th. The Democrats are targeting the
I got it. It was backwards. I got it.
Yeah, they're those 4 districts. But yeah, we see them as all very competitive.
You know, Ryan, something I think is really interesting about Pennsylvania is that you have Biden, who was born in Scranton. He likes saying it. He likes saying that he was from there. Will that have an impact on the vote in Pennsylvania?
Right. I think the Democrats are very hopeful that Biden being born in Scranton will help them in Pennsylvania. I think one key area in particular is the Scranton area. So the northeastern part of the state has many Obama-Trump voters. So there's Luzerne County, which contains Wilkes-Barre. That county flipped from Obama to Trump in 2016. And neighboring Lackawanna County, Trump wasn't able to win that county, but he was able to cut down the Democratic margin from 27 points to 3 points. So definitely that part of the state, with Biden being from that area, could potentially help him win back some of those voters.
So let me ask you this. If the president's campaigns had 4 years to keep building an infrastructure in Pennsylvania, are you seeing evidence that that's actually paying dividends? Or where is the ground game in Pennsylvania on both sides?
Right. So I think that both sides have built up a pretty good ground game in Pennsylvania. I think that the Democrats were caught off guard in the Midwest in 2016, where they thought that they had pretty safe leads throughout those states. But both sides understand now that Pennsylvania is one of the most critical states in the Electoral College in 2020. So it's definitely a state that neither side is going to be caught off guard this year.
Ryan, let me ask you this. On election night, if I'm looking at Pennsylvania and I want to know where the state is going, what do you think the key is? Is it the turnout in Philadelphia? Is it a particular congressional district? What's the tells that we want to look for in Pennsylvania?
Right. So I would say that the Democrats definitely want to have really strong turnout out of Philadelphia. So that's sort of the biggest Democratic base county, and it's important for them not only to get a good margin over Trump, but to get really high turnout. And I would also say that we would want to look at some of the counties that had a pretty strong movement with Obama-Trump voters. So some of those northeastern counties like Luzerne and Lackawanna could be good to look at, as well as Erie County in the northwestern part of the state. That's another Obama-Trump county.
Interesting. All right. I know that Pennsylvania is going to give us a lot to discuss as we head towards the election. So let's continue this discussion, and I want to have you back on some of these other races as we continue our series. Thank you for sharing your input on Pennsylvania.
Great. Thanks so much.
You bet.
All right, well, tomorrow we're going to continue our Battleground 2020 series, focusing on Minnesota. The state has been solid blue for decades, but some of the president's Trump camp are hopeful that he can buck the trend in November. Plus, we'll speak to GOP congressional candidate Michelle Fischbach, who is in a tight race to unseat a longtime Democrat in a purple district. That's tomorrow. But up next is our company. They're going to join us to talk about the heat that is on Facebook from censoring hate speech when we return.